The Brookline Ranch welcomes the Mexican Rancher Tour, sponsored by the Hereford Natural Resource Conservation District. What you're looking at right now is a pasture that was treated about 6 years ago with spike. It was a spike treatment or a tebuthyon treatment. No reseeding was done here on this location. It was covered with whitethorn, tarbush, and creosote solid. It was very little grass here. And today you can see that cattle are out there grazing the grass, and it looks pretty darn good. And we'll just take a look around and look at things out there. One thing you might notice is that some of the dead plants are still out there. We left them out there for cover for the grass to get started. What you're looking at here is an untreated portion of a very same ranch. There's a lot of whitethorn, tarbush, and creosote out here. And as you can see, there's very little grass because these brush plants are choking out all of the water. What we're looking at is untreated land that hasn't been treated with spike. We're nearing the end of the monsoon season here, and all you see out there is a lot of creosote, whitethorn, and tarbush that are just sucking up the water. And the grass out there, there's some grass out there because we got a lot of rain this summer, but there's not much. And then if we pan around a little bit and we look at moving towards the south and around, we see the line here of where the spike was applied, and we can just look right on out into here, and you can see that we're just covered with grass. You're looking over towards the Huachuca Mountains now, looking south, and you can see the stand of grass we've got right here. And this just wasn't here before the spike treatments and before we instituted our rotational program with the cattle. And just get a good picture. We want to get a good picture of all this grass out here. Thank you for all of you coming, and I want to welcome you all to the Brookline Ranch. My wife back here, Jeannie, and I bought this place 25 years ago, and 25 years ago it was in unbelievably bad shape. I was just talking to Wayne Irving over here, and he was talking about really a tough shape. And we knew we had to do range improvement if we were going to survive, and that's been kind of the goal we've done, is a lot of range improvement. And our cattle are doing well, our range is doing well, and a lot of it's due to the fact that two things. We started off rotating our pastures and rotating them pretty often and leaving grass in the pasture when we left it. And number two, we used the tebuthyon and from the Barry supplied, and it's just worked miracles for us. A couple of things I'd like to mention is we treated this pasture up here 6-7 years ago, right up here where we came through on the way in, and it looks pretty good. But right here at the house, our well, we had water at about 80 feet when we first came here. It was 80 feet down to the water in our well. Today, in that well, we got one length of pipe in it, less than 21 feet. And so the water table has come up because that brush that's sucking the water out is gone. And we've got a little spring down here, just about 200 yards behind the barn back there. A spring sprung up. And there's a ruins down there, an old adobe ruins that I chasing the cow through there, and I come on the old adobe ruins, and I found out that was the house that many of you know the story of Tombstone that Curly Bill family lived in, right out here behind the barn. And when Wyatt Earp killed Curly Bill, he cleared up on Sands Ranch up there, and one of your springs, he killed Curly Bill up there. He tied a rope around Curly Bill's legs and dallied on his horse, and he dragged Curly Bill all the way down here to this house and dumped him down here. Well, Curly Bill's relatives came out here a few years ago and gave me all the history of that, and they were out hunting for Curly Bill's grave where they buried him. And there was nothing out there then, and I kept saying, why did they build the house this far from the stream where they get water? And lo and behold, after we did this treatment, about 3 years ago, up rose a spring right there by their house. And that spring has run ever since. Dry weather, good weather, everything. That spring runs, and it runs a lot of water. And it runs right on down and ends up in the river down there. But it's incredible the amount of water that's come up because of treating it up here. And the whole thing about this treatment is those plants that were sucking all the water up are gone, and now the grass comes up. By the way, we never reseeded up there. Somebody asked me that. We never reseeded. We never did anything up there. We just treated it, and we Barry's program, he arranges the plane, he does everything like that. I sat out here, drank a cup of coffee, and watched him do it. And then I got to thank my special guy, Art. Where'd Art go? Art over there by Barry. Art laid it all out. He comes out and GPS'd everything for me. And I didn't have to do much to do all that. And so
You had to write the check.
I had to write a check. I had to write a check, yeah. And I wrote the check to Barry. And I'll tell you what, about 18 months later, I called Barry up and I said, Barry, what the hell is this? This stuff didn't kill anything. And Barry says, just wait. And about 3 months later, it was all the brush was dead. But it takes forever, you'll think, when you're sitting around waiting for it to kill it. But it kills it. And Barry said, just calm down, just wait a little while. So anyway, I thank you all for coming out here. We certainly enjoyed it.